phases for the projects along Highway 7 between Brighton and Bowler. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, we have Jim White, Vice President of JFW Trucking.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'd like to speak a little bit about I-270. My name is Jim White with JFW Trucking. We are a family-owned business and celebrated 90 years in business on July 5th of this year. I personally have 43 years in transportation business. Our grandfather started hauling coal in Denver in 1935 for heating purposes in homes. Our company in 2024 drove 8,175,000 miles on Colorado roads. We paid $448,000 in license plate fees for that privilege. Our business has been located in the last 47 years at Quebec and 270. For many years, I-270 was a link for us to get to I-76, I-25, Highway 36, Highway 85, and then back across going to I-70 and I-225. Today, we avoid I-270. It is dangerous, congested, potholed, inadequate, and unmodernized. It has remained unchanged for 55 years. How can any significant slice of transportation roadway go unchanged for 55 years? This seems unbelievable for Colorado, CDOT, and commissions like yours to let this happen. When I say we avoid I-270, we have been forced into adjacent roadways and neighborhoods where we should not be because of the congestion and safety on I-270. For example, these roadways are Vasquez Boulevard, Quebec, Colorado Boulevard, Chambers, Tower Road, and Sable, not to mention 104th, 96th, 88th, and 56th. These avenues often take us close to neighborhoods. Trucks already have a bad enough reputation. Why force us in places we don't need to be when there is and have always been an alternative, I-270? My brother and I have been part of the I-270 stakeholders workshop since March of 2024. We understand plans are in the works for I-270, and CDOT has let us be part of those plans, which is empowering. We have learned a great deal about the process involved in getting projects like this underway. Part of that is learning about goals and policies. Some goals make perfect sense, others do not, and some policies seem more politically driven than what is best for Colorado and its transportation system. One of these goals on the CDOT website is VMT, reduce vehicle miles traveled by 1% per capita annually. How can that happen or work when we are adding extra miles traveled to avoid I-270? Just to let you know, we are talking about miles traveled, not time. It takes less time for our deliveries to go around than traversing I-270. I don't know where the project will land in your hands or if that moment has passed, but please, either way, be a proponent or a backer. We need the modernization of I-270. It is my professional opinion that this will help with the VMT, which in turn will help with safety, noise pollution, emissions, and serve the greater good of the community around I-270. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do we have anybody else present in the room who wishes to address the commission? Then we can go online, and I show first Mayor Steve Douglas from Commerce City.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, good morning.
Okay, thank you. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Mayor Stephen Douglas, and I'm here representing Commerce City and the Northern Area Transportation Alliance, also known as NATA. NATA is a partnership of public and private entities in the northern Denver metro area. We advocate for multimodal transportation solutions that improve mobility, strengthen transit services, reduce congestion, and enhance quality of life across the region. First, I'd like to thank Commissioner Elise Jones, CDOT Transportation Commissioner for District 4, for attending our August NATA meeting. At the Statewide Transportation Advisory Committee, I spoke on behalf of NATA and Commerce City regarding the I-270 project. While progress on I-270 is encouraging, many of our local roads like Brighton Boulevard remain overlooked and need urgent attention. Several committee members agreed that CDOT should prioritize proactive maintenance on a 5 to 6 year cycle rather than waiting until roads deteriorate to the point of reconstruction. Two specific areas highlighted the urgency. I do appreciate the fact that CDOT resurfaced Highway 85 from entering on the south side of 76 all the way up through the corridor up into Brighton. But the urgency is 69th and Brighton Boulevard south to York Street, where the road conditions are worsening. I-76 southbound from 120th to Highway 85 off route near mile marker 14, where the left lane has a zipper light crack deteriorating rapidly. This section needs a mill and overlay now. Waiting until next year will only increase cost and risk. We know the state recently spent $14.7 million to repair and overlay 207 miles of roadway. We urge CDOT to ensure these critical stretches in Commerce City are prioritized within that maintenance program. Now, I know because our state legislators, the way they force the state and counties and municipalities to have to go out and do bids for those road repairs because of the cost. If the cost is over, first it was $100,000, now it's $350,000. I really would like to CDOT to work with the legislators to change that to $1 million. So the CDOT can do more of the work, because not only can they do the work better, but they can do the work sooner instead of all the red tape you have to go through in order to get a contract for a road here and there. So I really, like I said, I really urge that CDOT really prioritizes those side roads that lead up to 270, because when I-270 is built, yes, it's going to be a nice road, but the roads that CDOT operates and maintain within our city borders, if those don't get taken care of, it's work that goes unnoticed. So thank you for giving me the time to speak.
Thank you. And we also have Adams County Commissioner Kathy Hansen shown. We don't see her, but I do see Commissioner Mullica. Are you here to speak for Adams County?
I am. We had to shuffle.
Welcome.
All right. Thank you so much. Transportation Commissioners, thank you so much for the opportunity to provide public comment today. My name is Julie Duran Mullica, and I serve as an Adams County Commissioner. As you prepare to vote on the upcoming 10-year plan, I want to urge you to keep faith with the commitments that have already been made, especially those tied to safety and longstanding community needs. Too often, Adams County has seen projects delayed, reshuffled, or pushed behind new priorities. Segment 2 of North I-25 is the most glaring example of this. It's been studied for nearly 15 years, yet our residents still face nearly 2 crashes every single day. This is unacceptable. Segment 2 must move forward from promises to construction in the early years of this plan. But this is not just about I-25, it's about a pattern. Adams County has repeatedly been asked to wait while other projects leapfrog ahead, including high-profile ventures that serve special interests rather than the people who live with unsafe roads every day. We cannot keep prioritizing ribbon cuttings for stadiums over safety for Colorado families. The message is simple: safety over stadiums. That's why we are urging you to also prioritize the I-270 corridor. This is more than a highway. It's an economic and environmental lifeline. Yet it is still one of the most congested and environmentally burdened corridors in the state. Families and businesses that live along I-270 live with chronic delays, poor air quality, and outdated infrastructure. While bridge replacements are underway, the next 10-year plan must deliver comprehensive improvements grounded in equity, sustainability, and safety, not more delays. Our ask today is straightforward. Fund the full safety and operational improvements for Segment 2 of I-25 early in the 10-year plan. Keep commitments to design and staging of the segments 3B and 4. And ensure I-270 investments stay prioritized for health, safety, and economic well-being of the communities most impacted. Commissioners, you face many difficult choices, but fairness, accountability, and safety must guide this plan. For Adams County, this vote is about delivering on promises long overdue. Again, the message is clear: safety over stadiums. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I don't see anybody else, so that'll conclude our September public comment. Next on the agenda is comments from the commissioners. And so I don't miss somebody this week, I made a list. And I'm gonna start from this side. Commissioner Masters?
Yes, good morning. I attended the Eastern TPR in Akron this year, this last month. And I was very encouraged to see that in my journey to Akron, that two segments of, I believe it, don't hold me to it, Highway 36 and 63 were almost completed. And it was a pretty good journey. Some of the concerns of the TPR as they adopted the 10-year plan were some of the difficulties in the multimodal funding. And I think Region 4 addressed those pretty well for the community members that were there. And they did show some of the projects that had already been completed. And I'm hopeful that they'll be able to fund the other two projects. It appeared through the end of the meeting that those projects would be completed. We talked about the rural roads and some of the progress made, and however, they did acknowledge that some of the things were getting better. There's still a huge need in Eastern Colorado for more rural road attention. I did attend a meeting at and I don't know what CDOT calls it, but the traffic center in Golden on a Friday afternoon, and watch those people try to navigate the thousands of cameras that they do, and the dedication they've got to trying to keep the roads clear in conjunction with the State Patrol and other agencies was amazing to me. Those people are, I wouldn't want their task. It's truly unbelievable. And if you think that they're not seeing you, you're wrong, because they do. Those pictures and those cameras are truly state of the art. And I was very impressed by that. And with that, I'll just say CDOT spends a tremendous amount of time, 360 days a year, not just in the summer months, getting prepared for the snow and the upcoming season. And I would encourage all of you to do the same. Take 10 minutes to check those blades and check those tires that you were supposed to change a couple of summers ago. It's going to get snowy. It's coming. Winter's coming. It's here. So please just take a few minutes and take a look at your own personal vehicle and make sure that you're prepared to embark on the road, because the plows are ready and we're ready to plow snow. So thank you.
Thank you very much. I always appreciate your emphasis on safety. Next, Commissioner Ritter.
I'm going to keep my comments very short, given I am losing my voice for some reason, which probably is a benefit to the citizens of Colorado. One of the things that I saw across a 6,000-mile journey to Maine and back through Canada and through multiple U.S. states is the increased frequency of use of signs that designate when there is a passing lane. And in one state, there's 4 before each passing lane. And as I was coming down US 40 the other day, I realized we have 1. And increasingly, I'm getting concerned that I was watching individuals pass in a reckless manner, and we need to sort of up our game in that area. And that's my comment for the day.
Okay, thank you very much. Commissioner Hart.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a couple of comments today. First of all, I wanted to thank the members of the public that do provide us with information, both here at this meeting and in advance of the meeting, just to make sure that everybody knows that when that information is sent to us by email or any other methodology, we look at it, we think it through, and we definitely take it into consideration with the decisions that we make. And so I just want to thank everybody for being involved, staying involved, and providing us with what you are seeing and hearing out there. It helps us tremendously figure out what we're trying to do and what CDOT's trying to do to make sure that our transportation system is functioning well The second thing I wanted to talk about was about the development of our statewide long-term plan, the new plan that takes us to 2050. A lot of work went into that. We've had a lot of presentations on that over the past couple of years about the work that's been done on it. A lot of participation. I think that one of the slides we saw yesterday said that over 50,000 people had attended our various town hall meetings and accessed what we were trying to do with the plan. Again, it's a tremendous amount of work, and my hat's off to the staff. Darius, you and your staff have done a fantastic job of working your way through all of that, all of the minutia, and then getting it to us. And I was really pleased when we got prepared for this meeting to have you point out, yeah, this isn't the end of it. This is the beginning of it. It's an evolutionary process, and we next head into the 10-year plan element underneath that long-term plan, and then finally the 4-year element that is underneath the 10-year plan. So the STIP. So a lot of work goes into that, and I just hope that the public realizes that we do care. We're all trying to listen and make sure we're doing the best we can. One of the things that I have definitely learned in my involvement here, and frankly, it's similar to what I've learned in my involvement in government elsewhere, is the pleas that we hear for more funding. We're sympathetic to that, frankly, very sympathetic to it. So when I hear about some of the difficulties like we heard this morning about, maintenance conditions on something like I-270, I'm particularly sensitive to that. And then what we end up doing is we get a lot of competing requests. We hear about that particular need, which is a critical need. We hear about needs that are in other parts of I-25, I-70, and throughout the state. And so the difficult part is balancing all of that. One thing that I've definitely learned over the last decade or more is, frankly, I'd like to make a plea to the public to start thinking a little bit more about where we're headed with transportation. Frankly, we need more funding. We are one of the few states that has actually drastically cut back our funding over a number of years for a lot of reasons. I don't like paying taxes either, but my goodness, I like to have safe ways to move from one city to the next. And so I do hope that we have some very well thought ideas that come up in the future that puts the question back to the public of saying, if you want these things, there is a cost associated with it. And in the meantime, that what we'll try to do and what CDOT tries to do every day is to balance the various requests for funding that we get, and then basically use the money as best we can with the highest priorities. I'm particularly sympathetic to the comment about projects being delayed. I know exactly what that feels like in southern Colorado, where we don't see the population growth. A lot of our projects get delayed because of the demands here in the northern part of the state. I'm sympathetic to what we are not getting done, but I also totally understand what needs to be done here in northern Colorado. Finally, statement is I want to throw in my 2 cents about safety too. We talk about it every single month. We all see it, and it's just shocking what we see. I don't see it turning around. It seems like enforcement is increasing. We're trying to do everything we can. We design our highway systems as best we can to make them as safe as they possibly could be. But at the same time, we can't control the individual decisions of all the drivers. And that's not just private drivers in cars. It's also drivers in trucks. And I'm stunned. Yesterday or 2 days ago when I was coming up to Denver, I thought I'm going to keep track of how many trucks I see passing me when I'm trying to at least try to do the speed limit. And particularly when I see trucks passing me in construction zones where there's obviously our CDOT workers that are out there. And I hesitate to say how many I saw. And so I started thinking, I wish I had the ability to write it down, but I can't drive and write at the same time, but start writing down all of the people that I see that are speeding past me. And it's not just the big trucks. It's everyone. Everybody's in a hurry. The trouble with it is it causes the delays that we heard from one of our commenters earlier today. And frankly, it causes injuries and it costs lives. So once again, I'm sincerely hoping that we find more and more ways to control unsafe driving behavior on the highways. And that's my comments. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Commissioner McLaughlin.
Thank you. Everybody mispronounces that. I'm happy. I'm the new kid, so I'm still traveling my district and trying to figure out who is who and what's what. I will say that I spent a lot of time with Region 9 and the city of Durango recently, and we are very, very isolated down in Durango. We have no interstates, which means in this arena, it means less money that we get down there because we don't have interstates, but we kind of like that, actually. People have to make the intention of coming to visit us. And what I'm learning from everyone involved in transportation is that because of our isolation, we have to work as a team together. And everybody is talking about safety. Everybody's talking about speeders. We get them down there too. And maintenance of the roads and multimodal. So everyone is talking about that. And that makes me very happy that we're working as a team. It's not like from one county to the other that we have very different ideas about things. So I'm really happy to be working down there for that. We still have, we're grateful for all the work that's been done in our area. It's very substantial. Our bridge to nowhere is now going somewhere. So we're very happy with that. I did get lost on it a couple of times. I couldn't read the signs. So I did a couple of circles, but now I figured it out. So some people are saying that CDOT needs more permitting in Southwest Colorado. Our broadband issues can continue, and towns are requesting that, particularly Pagosa Springs, that CDOT works closer with broadband and sharing space for cables and redundancy. And they want to do a one-time payment for installation and not be charged every month for having broadband in their area. So if I didn't tell you that, I'd be negligent. And despite the great work of Region 5's Julie Constant, the people in Pagosa Springs are still upset about the road construction going on in town, even though they were told a year ahead of time and all the lines were drawn out. But I get calls regularly, usually from like 3 people there that hurry it up, get it done. But Julie is one of the calmest people I've ever met. So you should be very happy she is with our region. And people are wondering what's happening with the progress of the rest stop by Pagosa Springs. You can't rest there anymore. And if you need to go to the bathroom, you have to drive a long way, apparently. So just thought I'd throw that in there too. But I'm going to continue working and visiting with people and seeing what's going on in my district. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Commissioner Gutierrez.
Thank you, Chair Cook. I know that we all harp on safety, and I'm probably the one who complains the loudest about some of the drivers that I see, and I get stressed and make my driving down here, and I'm already stressed when I sit down at this chair after the traffic. And so I always seem to focus on the bad drivers. But I have to tell you, there are a lot of courteous drivers out there. And so I'm going to use a little different tack today. And I want to thank all of those people who courteously let you in when you use your turn signal to change lanes and not speed up and close the gap. I want to thank all those people who actually try to do the speed limit and drive safely and move over when we've got our construction workers out there. I see you too. Unfortunately, I have focused for too long probably on the negative instead of the positive. So today I'm being very positive. And in that vein, I want to say that as the vice chair of CTIO, I know we're going to hear from the CTIO director, Piper Darlington, here shortly, but I want to comment about some of the hard work that the staff at CTIO is doing to bring projects to fruition and all the hard work that they've done. They've just been terrific. And I know we don't see them every single month like those of us that sit on the CTIO board do. And I just wanted to mention them and shout out and tell you how proud I am of all the work that they've done. So with that, Chair Cook, thank you.
Thank you. And Commissioner Jones.
Well, I want to start by thanking everyone who is providing us public comment today, both in writing and but certainly orally. We definitely had Adams County in the house. So shout out to the business owners and the mayors and county commissioners that took the time to come and speak with us. You all are definitely spending a lot of time letting us know how you feel about priorities in the 10-year plan. So could be a model for other folks as well. So appreciate hearing from you. And also, as has been duly noted, I got to attend my first NADA meeting as a transportation commissioner. Appreciate the warm welcome, the opportunity to make a few comments and to really learn about what's going on in that neck of our state. So I am sorry that I will miss the October meeting because it's the same day as my annual conference and I do have a day job, but look forward to continued conversation. A note about safety, since I think we're all supposed to talk about it. It did snow in the mountains a little bit on Tuesday, which means ski season is coming, which means it's time for me to get my studded snow tires on so that I can make it up to the slopes. So I commit to doing that, and I encourage others to prepare for the snow as well. And then I'll just echo some of the comments made by Commissioner Hart about I'm thrilled to be a part of adopting this statewide transportation plan later this morning. I mean, what an incredible amount of work and what an incredible story it tells. I really, the staff time that went into it is admirable. And also the public comment. I really, going through it, it really validated the choices that the prior commission and CDOT leadership made around emphasizing safety, fixing it first, and also providing sustainable transportation options. I mean, the public clearly are aligned with those goals, and it's great to see us moving forward and investing accordingly. And look forward to the next chapter as we develop the 10-year plan. So with that, I'll turn it over to Juan.
All right, thank you. Madam Chair, thank you. All right, and thank you, Commissioner Jones. So the fun part about going towards the end is that everyone's basically already said what you want to say, so I could just say ditto and pass it over. But I will just reemphasize, thank you, Commissioner Masters, for getting the ball rolling. Winter is in fact coming, so make sure that you have your tires are ready for the season. I've seen a lot of folks with racing slicks out there, so we don't want that when the snow starts flying. And make sure that your fluids are ready. Get you that low temperature windshield wiper fluid. I also wanted to announce that I'm going to be conducting outreach to local jurisdictions in District 3 so I can start hearing folks' priorities and concerns and learn how we can best be a partner for them in their local efforts. And I also wanted to follow one of my other colleagues' examples here and end on something positive, which is that 17 bridges in South and Central Colorado were completed 4 months early and $2 million under budget. And we often hear about government that, things are too expensive and they run longer than they ought to, but this was the exact opposite. So I just wanted to give our team their roses for a job well done, and excited to be part of the board and looking forward to being able to share more good information with our constituency in the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And Commissioner Barrett.
I really can't think that I have anything that's of interest to say yet, but I will. And I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll go next to Commissioner or Vice Chair Bowman online and then back to Commissioner Gutierrez. So. Barbara?
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much, Commissioner Cook. Welcome to new Commissioner Barrett. We are very glad to have you. And again, thanks to all of you who made public comments. I want to give some positive feedback as well. Thanks to CDOT staff for a very informative workshop. We were excited to hear about the statewide transportation plan and the 10-year plan. And the great news that 100% of the projects in the 10-year plan are underway in the first 4 years, with over 50% complete and the completion of 84 projects and another 46 projects under construction. Also, in the interest of safety, which is high priority, a highlight for the Western Slope in the statewide transportation plan is not only the repair of the middle bridge over Blue Mesa, but also the completion of US 50 Little Blue Creek Canyon. Little Blue Creek is vital to the Western Slope economy as it provides access to 3 reservoirs and over 2 million acres of public land, but also for the delivery of goods and services to communities such as Gunnison, Crested Butte, Montrose. Bravo to Jason Smith and his team for completing both of these vital projects, and also to former Commissioner Kathy Hall. And in light of the priority to fix our roads, even more great news. SCDOT has recommended a potential budget amendment for consideration, which includes supplemental funding for pavement conditions targeting some of the worst pavement in the state. Last but not least, we're very excited to celebrate the opening of the Vail Pass rest area with the ribbon cutting on September 30. Thanks again to the CDOT team for all your hard work to improve Colorado's roads. With that, I'll turn it back over to you.
Okay, thank you. And well, that'll wrap it up then. We've got Commissioner Parsons away. So our next item is Director Liu's report.
Great. Good morning, everybody, and thanks for a great set of discussions over the course of the day. We're making some important progress on a few major projects that I think is worth mentioning. Now, I think folks are aware that we've had some challenges with getting grants executed in the last few months. So, I wanted to report that there's been some really notable progress on key projects, including that just in the past few days, Region 4 secured the grant agreement for the 287 safety project up in Northern Colorado. So, I see John Cater here and just want to give a big thank you to the FHWA division staff for getting some of these key items over the finish line, particularly ahead of the end of the federal fiscal year. So that's not the only one, but that's one that is kind of symbolic of what we needed to get done. So really appreciate that work, and know it's been a heavy lift on behalf of the division, who's now taken over additional jurisdiction, including some other states in the area. So appreciate them prioritizing that. In a similar vein, we also would like to say thank you for getting a really important additional tranche of money through August redistribution, the federal level that got announced earlier this week. And we had some good discussion yesterday about how that may get prioritized in Colorado, and we'll be having subsequent discussion next month. But I think what the staff will be bringing forward is a proposal that combines additional funding for the interstate poor roads and making sure that additional roads don't fall into that category, as well as the rural roads resurfacing program, where we've seen tremendous success that we talked a little bit about last month. But we'll be looking forward to proposing additional dollars through redistribution like we did last year to make more progress on those two important programs. In kind of a related vein, a number of us from the staff testified at the TLRC in the legislature last week, and had a number of good discussions about progress and issues, including a revised version of the railroads presentation that we tested on the TC last month, and incorporating some of the feedback that we got. And I think it went over very well, and we had a good discussion about what's working in that space, and sort of the importance of continuing that robust work into the next 10-year plan and otherwise. So, thank you for giving us the chance to talk through it last month. And it was, I think, well received in the legislature, along with other topics. I think those are sort of the big things that I wanted to touch on, except that we're sort of moving into the tail end of construction season, as folks know, and into preparations for winter. That means that we ask for the public's indulgence and patience as we try and get some last pieces of work product done before it gets too cold. In practical terms, what that means is occasional delays on I-70, where the ability to repave gets more and more challenging as we head into October. Notably, we're doing some overnight work in the tunnel that needs to get done before winter, but have done everything possible to minimize inconvenience. But it still means that there's some lane restrictions in the overnight hours, particularly in the tunnel and on Vail Pass and some other key areas. But, again, the goal is to get that wrapped up in the off hours and before Thanksgiving, when the holiday traffic really picks up. No, once that is done, we sort of head into the end of bidding season. You know, we're expecting several $100 million more work to go out in the late fall, as it always does, to kind of tee up next season's work. As we also head into the winter months with our own team preparing for winter maintenance. That's it for me. Thanks.
Thank you, Director Liu. And by the way, thanks to Barbara Bowman, I had a chance to listen into your TLRC meeting, and I was impressed, first with the content, the amount of information and how well conveyed. And then secondly, I thought in terms of responding to questions and whatnot, you all did a really good job. The takeaway I had was this is a knowledgeable and forthright group. So thank you.
Thank you for spending 3 hours of your day.
Chair, I have to thank Barbara McLaughlin for that.
Well, we're all a team here. So thank you for that, keeping an eye on that. Appreciate it. Okay, and next on our agenda is the Chief Engineer's report. Keith Stefanik, welcome.
Good morning, Commissioners. Welcome aboard, Commissioner Barrett. Nice to work with you again. Director Liu teed my presentation up pretty good with when she was mentioning the amount of work that we have left to put out into the bidding market here in preparation of next year. It's already so quick that it's September here. We're closing up shop for some of our construction projects. Some of them will continue through the area, but we need to get prepared for the next construction season. So I just wanted to go over a little bit of data from our capital program. So again, these projects are delivered by the regions. So the 5 regions do a tremendous job of designing the projects, bidding the projects, and getting them out into construction. We also have a team here at headquarters that helps get that project out on the bidding market, open the bids, get the construction contracts awarded. So we have a lot of different terminology, whether we advertise projects, we award projects, but it all centers around our construction season and our construction windows. And so we do a lot of our data by calendar year and not fiscal year, even though that our budgets are based on fiscal year. I just wanted to go through a few statistics here on our capital program, because there's been a lot of discussion with the TLRC and some of our stakeholders on the amount of projects that CDOT's putting out to bid and advertising and subsequently awarding. So far this year, calendar year 2025, we have opened bids on 46 projects that add up to about $150 million. So those are the design bid build projects that we design here at CDOT. We put out with our consultant partners, we put out the bid, we award those, and those go by low bid. So basically, a prime contractor has to be pre-qualified. As long as they are pre-qualified and all of the conditions of the bid are met and it's low, they get awarded the project through our process. So that's, again, about $150 million. I would say we have around $300 million left this calendar year to get out on the street for that bidding market. So we're projecting somewhere around, I would say, $450 million-ish to get out in the design bid build market left this year. It's a little lower than previous years when you compare some of the numbers. But when you look at our entire portfolio of our capital program, it also includes alternative delivery, which is CMGC, design build, items like those. Those projects are awarded to same contractors that do the design bid build work. There's a lot of subcontractors that work on those alternative delivery projects as well with the prime. But when you take a snapshot of our entire program, so far this year, we've awarded $720 million of contracts to contractors to build the roadway infrastructure across Colorado. Just that $720 million gets to creeping up pretty close on some record levels that we've had over the past several years here at CDOT. Last year was our highest record that we have at $1.4 billion that we awarded to contractors. When we project what we'll award for the rest of the year, we're right around $1 billion. And that's the second highest that we've had in the state over the past foreseeable past. So I think we have a pretty healthy program. But we have a mix-up program, which is we try to use the best delivery method to deliver that project, whether it's alternative delivery, whether it's design but build. We go through a bunch of analysis. We went through an audit of our processes a few years ago. Had a pretty favorable audit from the Office of State Auditor. So we continue to work forward and continue to try to build the infrastructure across here, but just all of the numbers so far, we have some work left to do in calendar year 2025 to get some projects out and get those awarded. But when you take a pretty good snapshot of our entire program, we're at some record levels. So I just wanted to mention that to the board as we go through our data. We continue to work with the regions to try to get the most accurate information that we can ahead of the contractors so that they can plan the work. As Director Liu mentioned, we're heading into a lot of our high bidding seasons. We try to get the projects out on the market, advertised in October, November, December, ahead of the construction season, so the contractors know what they're working on, what capacity they have, and do they have left any capacity to bid more projects. We like to see a high number of bidders on our projects. That means it's a healthy market, gets us pretty competitive bid pricing, and we just look for more opportunities. So just wanted to share that information with you today and see if you guys had any questions. But if you ever have any questions regarding the capital program, reach out to me. We have a bunch of data that I can sit down and work through. We're going to sit down with some of our stakeholders over the next couple of months and work through that data as well, just so we're as transparent as possible. With that, I'll open it up to any questions.
Any questions for the chief engineer? Thank you. And, we don't really understand what goes into, the complexities of lining those things up so that they work time-wise and so forth and can. So thank you and your team for all that you're doing to make that happen, especially with record numbers of contracts and dollar amounts going out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, now we have the CTIO Director's Report. Piper Darlington, welcome.
Good morning, commissioners, and thank you for the kind words, Commissioner Gutierrez. It does feel like our team is trying to summit Everest this year. So we really appreciate all of the kind words. I think I've said before that I could use like a weekly pep talk call with you, but really appreciate all of your support, really from the entire CTIO board. But thank you for the kind words this morning. We held our monthly meeting yesterday. No notable action items for the commission, but I did want to give you an update on where we are with joint service. We held our first official, now that we are officially under our IGA that this body helped approve several months ago. We held our first executive oversight committee meeting last Tuesday at RTD headquarters. We elected officers. We talked about maybe sort of establishing an ongoing kind of communications cadence. RTD and CDOT are also creating simple web pages where we can post our meeting agendas so that we can transparently report to the public what we're talking about. So I know CDOT's been setting one up, and we'll be working with Herman to make sure those get posted monthly. Obviously, we have participation internally from CTIO, the Clean Transit Enterprise, and CDOT. So just making sure that we're transparently publishing information on what those agendas are. We discussed trying to have monthly meetings in person. We're looking at maybe every Tuesday, but the in-person collaboration has been really important for our group. So we're kind of just getting our feet under us and set up. We had an update also on how the negotiations are going with BNSF. So those are ongoing, but I'll try to continue to use this time that I have with you all for any other joint service updates outside of maybe what Herman might be sharing during a breakfast meeting. So wanted to let you know about that. And then just to say that I'm really looking forward to getting to know some of the new commissioners and to continue working with Commissioner Barrett on the train trip next month. I know our other CTIO board members who are not on the Transportation Commission are also very excited. So just looking for that opportunity to get to know some of the new commissioners a little better next month on our train trip / road trip. So happy to answer any other questions, but that was my update for the month.
Thank you. Any questions? Commissioner Gutierrez?
Yes, Piper, thank you for all your work as well. And yesterday during our meeting, Tim gave us, I thought, a phenomenal item of data regarding the STEP program. Would you mind sharing that with the rest of this commission? Because as you sit here and hear us talk about safety all the way up and down the line here, and I think that piece of information needs to be shared far and wide. So if you don't mind.
Sure. Happy, appreciate the prompt. I'm happy to talk about our safety and toll enforcement program. So one, Commissioner Gutierrez is mentioning we had a workshop on sort of upcoming tolling commencement up north. Some of you may be aware who drive up that way. We're installing tolling equipment on segments 6, 7, and 8. That's slated to commence tolling in January. So we were sort of prepping toll rates and some other discussion. And we also are planning to go live with our safety and tolling enforcement program to coincide with tolling commencement up there. So we also really talked about some of the successes of the program that we have seen. We receive weekly data from our vendor who is out there, performing, the actual monitoring with the equipment. We also receive quarterly reports that have great statistics. And our communications manager, Tim Hoover, reported that, our latest report showed that violations have really dropped across the network by 92%. And when we roll out new corridors with the safety and tolling enforcement program, violation rates are already much lower. So we expect to see that mirrored as well on I-25 North, really because the message is getting out there. People are learning. We expect that probably a lot of drivers who drive on segments 2 and 3 closer to the metro area drive those northern segments. So happy to continue to report on statistics, especially as we roll out that next program. But we are, at the direction of our board, we have been heavily investing in communications, reinvesting some of those civil penalties to get the word out. So if you live along the I-25 corridor, you are going to see more in the next few months. We are really reaching people via social media. We are looking for a billboard via newspapers. So we're really trying to just inundate people with information, not just on the STEP program, but how to use the express lane safely, especially as these are new lanes that are coming online up north. So thank you for the prompt. I'm happy to continue providing stats on how that program rolls out up north.
Thank you, Piper. I just wanted to emphasize 92% reduction. I think that's a huge improvement in the safety. Now, if we can figure out how to utilize that system in other ways to improve safety further, and I know that CDOT is really looking at that as well. So thank you, Piper, and thank you, Chair Cook, for that.
Good point. Any other questions or comments?
No.
Okay, thank you very much. Now we're on to the STAC report from STAC Chair Gary Beatty. Hello.
Good morning, Commission. We had our STAC meeting on September 4th. It was a fairly straightforward meeting. Our first main item was the 2050 plan review for the statewide plan, and we did vote to recommend adoption of it. Some of the comments through the process was, as you also kind of heard this morning, the state still needs to be looking at strategic capacity improvements, which also helps improve the transit pieces and all the other things for reliability and things. So we still need to be looking at those on a statewide basis. And then obviously, the big one is always the preservation of the existing system, the rural roads paving. The progress we've made is great, but we are still facing big backlogs in a lot of those areas, as you're well aware, and we need more funding for that from the public. So those are the big ones out of the 2050 plan adoption. We had the rural roads update, which you had last month, and then also had a strategic highway safety plan update and trying to figure out where to start focusing on, continuing to try to address the safety issues on a statewide basis. I did also participate in the efficiency and accountability meeting representing STAC a few weeks ago. Attended the safety things, and just on the toll or the enforcement that they're starting to do for the work zones.
they're afraid they're not going to raise the revenue they were projecting because people are slowing down and we're not going to have the violations to help fund that. So that's always a factor when we're trying to improve safety. And if we're relying on the fines to pay for that, hopefully those fines don't come in because we get the safety improvement we want. So that's always a budgeting issue. We'll be facing when you design a program to be funded by the fines, but you're wanting them to slow down anyway. So we need to make sure we fund those programs into the future for the safety factor and not always rely on those fines. A couple mentioned was the passing lane signage. I have noticed that in other states and always been a proponent, especially in some of the rural areas on these heavy freight corridors and things, that those could help improve safety if people know when those passing spots are coming up, so they're willing to wait and not put people in danger. So that's a safety thing I'd still like to see, especially my region in Southeast Colorado, especially see those. And I know the other corridors, I'm sure, see it around the state. Coming in this morning, talking about the toll lanes and things, I do think we need to improve education to the public on zip lanes. Some of the I-70 congestion I've continued to see since those toll lanes have opened up and been there is when people are trying to get onto I-25, they're not letting people zip, or the ones in the toll lane think they should get priority over everybody behind them. So then it backs up all of I-70. So some education from I guess she left, so but with CTIO and the safety office trying to improve those things, I think would be good things. And then just back to the statewide plan, one thing I've been hearing with other information I get from other states around Colorado and the national connections, I do think our statewide plan needs a little bit broader perspective to looking at some of our international and our full national connections to the ports coming out of Chicago, all of Texas, Mexico, and how our transportation system needs to integrate with what other states are doing. Texas is moving forward with interstate coming up to the southeast corner of Colorado, but then they're jumping across New Mexico to go to I-25 with new interstates. There's talk of new national interstate program to fund new interstate expansions for new interstates, because there's a big backlog nationally for interstates that are designated but don't have funding. So those are some of the things. We have 2 priority corridors in Colorado, eastern Colorado, that could be designated as interstate but have not been at this point. But Texas has done it, and the northern states are looking to do it to come in from the north. So those are some of the big long-range plans that are happening around us that we also need to make sure we're looking and making sure we're prepared as a state to capitalize on those investments of other states to help the economies of parts of our state that have been struggling economically. We oftentimes get focused on this core area, which I agree with comments earlier today. The center is the heart of Colorado, and our transportation system is the circulatory system that connects us all and keeps everything working throughout the country. So just keep those in mind as we move forward with future planning projects, the 10-year plans and things, making sure that we're addressing to keep those capacity and keep the heart of Colorado strong so we don't start having heart attacks. So thank you for those. And I think that wraps up most of the stack update. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Any questions for Gary Beatty? Looks like we're good. Thanks. Okay, with that, we can move on to our action agenda. First up is the consent agenda. The first 4 resolutions are part of that consent agenda. I can read them for the record. There's resolution number 1, approve the regular meeting minutes of August 21, 2025. Proposed resolution number 2, IGA approvals that are greater than 750,000. Resolution number 3, disposal 5 RAV-EX and SH3 in Durango. And then proposed resolution 4, confirmation of the chair's appointments to the TC committees. First, I'd ask if there's anyone who wants to remove an item from the consent agenda to vote on it separately. No, it looks like we're good. Do we have a presentation? Don't for the consents. I just saw Jeff up there and I thought I'd check. Okay, so if there's no discussion, then I entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Commissioner Gutierrez with the motion and Commissioner McLaughlin with the second. Okay. Will all in favor say aye?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Okay, I think we're good on that. Next one is discuss and act on proposed resolution number 5. That's the second budget amendment of FY 25-26. And we heard a presentation and had some discussion about this yesterday. Thank you, Jeff Sudmeyer.
Thank you. The second amendment includes 4 items and reallocates 2.8 million from the TC Program Reserve Fund. That's line 83 on your budget to the agency operations line. That's line 66. Those 4 requests are to fund 4 initiatives within the Division of Maintenance and Operations. As noted, we discussed each of these in detail yesterday. Those requests include 1.5 million to fund per diem and hotel costs for the fiscal year 26 winter season for the I-70 joint operations area. This is an ongoing cost, but we have funded it via amendment in this fall budget cycle each of the last few years. If not approved, these costs would need to come directly from the Region 1 and Region 3 maintenance budget. So this allows us to sort of hold the rest of that budget harmless to pay for the I-70 joint operations area. The second request is 500,000 for asset inventory and roadway configuration data to be integrated into the new maintenance work order system being implemented by the Division of Maintenance Operation. The third request is 500,000 for the installation of EV charging stations to support the expansion of CDOT's electric vehicle fleet. And the final request is 300,000 for additional security services at several CDOT locations, including this facility, as well as the Dinosaur Park and Ride lot and the Arkansas facility. We actually still have a portion of that property that we need to provide security services to. So happy to answer any questions. Otherwise, I'd request you consider a motion to approve.
Okay, any questions for Jeff Sudmeyer? Yes, Commissioner Masters.
Does the 500,000 for the EV charging stations, does that just take care of what we currently have? Does that do any preparation for the future, or where does that number come from?
Sure, I would have to get you some, I can't give you specifics. I can give you a general answer. I think that there's a sort of a current build out plan. I believe the total amount of that installation was somewhere around 2.5 million, and we've been sort of spreading that implementation over multiple years. So I think we are close. I don't think this 500,000 closes it off, but it gets us close. I can get you those final numbers. But again, that's sort of current build. There will, I expect, be additional costs downstream as as presumably we continue to see more of our fleet go in that direction. So.
Thank you.
Good question. Anybody else? Okay, if there's no other discussion, I'd entertain a motion to approve. So moved by Commissioner Masters, second by Commissioner Ritter. Any no votes on that? All in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Okay, I think we're good. Thank you, Jeff. All right, and next we have discuss and act on proposed resolution number 6, the statewide plan adoption. Here, after many months, Darius Pakbaz and Marissa Gahan. I hope I said it right this time.
You did. Thank you, thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Commissioners. Is proposed resolution 6, adoption of the long-range transportation plan. This has a 20-year forecasted period for plan adoption. It is required under several different pieces of primarily United States Code, Title 23, Colorado Code of Regulations 2601-22, and portions of Title 43 of the Colorado Revised Statutes. This has been a process, as mentioned in workshop yesterday, and several workshops over the past year and a half, developing that through public outreach, through the development of the 10 rural TPRs, regional plans, and the MPOs plans that they developed as required under Title 23 of the United States Code, and the integration of elements of the various modal plans, included, not limited to, but including the a state highway safety plan, the freight plan, the risk-based asset management plan, and many others, and sets the stage for the development of the 10-year plan and looking out for the development of other project-based plans as well. So with that, if you approve this plan today, this will be submitted for federal highways for review and certification, and will meet the state's obligations in terms of meeting our planning requirements for that. So with that said, I'm happy to answer any questions today. Otherwise, I'm asking for a vote on the resolution today. Thank you.
Thank you, Darius. I'm sure you heard several comments by the commissioners during their reports about the 2050 or your new 2050 plan and the framework it provides, and then heading into the 10-year plan, and I echo those. Does anybody have any additional questions or suggestions, comments? Yes, Commissioner Jones.
I did have one question. Does Federal Highways actually have to approve it, or
Yes.
just
They do have
confirm
to
that it
approve-
meets the requirements?
That it meets the requirements as outlined in both the federal statute and the regulations outlined under CFR. I don't remember the specific requirements, but they do have to approve this specific document, yes.
And do we anticipate any issues with that?
Don't anticipate any issues with that. No, we usually make sure that we meet all the check boxes before we submit it to them.
And I would just echo Chair Cook's comments that really it is quite a impressive document, reflecting so much work, and really a useful springboard to the next steps in terms of the 10-year plan. So thanks for all your efforts.
Thank you, Commissioner. And of course, a lot of the credit goes to not only my staff that worked on it, but all of the regional staff from the other divisions at headquarters, and appreciation to all of our local planning partners as well.
Any other comments? Yeah, thank you. We didn't, part of the process was the 4P meetings. And of course, that fell to the regions to help organize and orchestrate that. And they did yeoman's work on that, as far as my experience with that as well. So thank you. Okay, if there's no further questions, discussion, does anybody have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Okay, so Commissioner Gutierrez and Commissioner Jones as the movement and seconder. All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Nope. So there you go, Darius. That's a big step.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. All right. Do we have any recognitions or other matters? No. Okay, then we'll adjourn and go right into the Bridge and Tunnel Enterprise Board of Directors meeting. So it's currently 10:08. Man, we're right almost to the minute. Call to order and roll call. Herman Stockinger, please.
Director Barrett? Director Barrett here.
Present.
Director Marcano?
Present.
Director Jones?
Present.
Director Gutierrez?
Here.
Director Ritter? Director McLaughlin?
Present.
Director Parsons?
Excused.
Director Hart?
Here.
Director Masters? Vice Chair Bowman?
Here.
Chair Cook?
Here. Thank you, Herman. Okay, do we have any public comments today? Anybody in the room that would like to address the BTE Board of Directors? Nobody online. So, okay, we'll just move on into the consent agenda. That's proposed resolution number BTE1 to approve the regular meeting minutes of August 21, 2025. Do we have any questions, changes, motion on the consent agenda? Commissioner Hart?
Second.
And Commissioner Gutierrez, thank you. Okay, all in favor of approving the consent agenda, please say aye. Aye. And anybody opposed? Okay, I think we're good there. Next, we move on and act on proposal resolution BTE 2. That's the third budget supplement to FY 25-26. And Patrick Colinda, thank you. Welcome.
Thank you, Chair. I'm here today to request the approval of the third supplement to the fiscal year 2026 Bridge and Tunnel Enterprise budget. Our supplement this month has 3 requests. The first request is from Region 1 for $1.98 million to increase the design phase budget for the I-25 interchange reconstruction at Spear Boulevard and 23rd Avenue. This project is included in CDOT's 10-year plan and includes 2 bridges from the top tier of BTE's bridge prioritization plan. The board previously approved a budget supplement to allow the project to proceed with planning activities and conceptual level design, and this supplement will allow the project to continue to progress to 30% design. We do plan to return with future incremental funding requests as design progresses and a preferred alternative is identified. Our second request is from Region 4 for $10 million in faster bridge safety surcharge to establish the construction phase for the State Highway 86 over Kiowa Creek bridge replacement project in Elbert County. This bridge is currently rated poor due to the condition of the bridge deck. This bridge has a long documented history of requiring planned and unplanned repairs, and they're increasing in frequency and severity over time. This factor, as well as many others, the bridge's operational importance to the local community, have elevated this bridge to the top tier of our most recent bridge prioritization plan. Our third request is also from Region 4 for $1.9 million in infrastructure revenue bond proceeds to establish the construction phase for the US 6 eastbound over Sterling Canal bridge replacement project in Sterling County. This bridge is being completed in conjunction with the larger concrete resurfacing and reconstruction project for cost savings and acceleration or schedule acceleration. So we're able to tuck this bridge into a larger project and get it done while we already had contractors in the area. This bridge is rated poor due to the condition of the bridge deck, and this structure is in our top tier, primarily due to the condition and the load restricted status of the bridge. The infrastructure revenue bond funds being allocated, I did want to mention our project savings that were recently released from another project. So we're able to increase our scope as we have some savings on other projects. So with your approval today, Region 4 will be able to move forward with advertisement of these projects. With that, happy to answer any questions you may have. I'd request you consider a motion to approve.
Thank you very much. Any questions for Patrick? Okay, look for a motion on proposal resolution number 2. Commissioner Masters and Commissioner McLaughlin, second. With that, we'll go ahead and vote. Let's just say all in favor, say aye, please.
Aye. Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you. Okay, then on to number 3.
Thank you again. I'm here to request your commitment in principle of BTE state matching funds for 2 projects that we're proposing to submit for the fiscal year 2026 USDOT Bridge Investment Program. The proposed state match funding for both projects will be at the minimum required level of 20%. The first project is the Region 1 Colorado Eastern Plains Timber Bridge Replacements Planning Project, which will be submitted for the planning category with your approval today. It addresses 3 poor or imminently poor structures on routes that provide redundancy for our I-70 corridor and are critical for the movement of agricultural goods and resources. The bridges are approaching 100 years old, and these timber structures are likely to become load restricted if we allow deterioration to continue to progress. The BTE state funding match request is $252,000 for this planning project, which has a total estimated cost of approximately $1.26 million. The second project is the Region 2 US 85 Fountain Creek Critical Bridge Replacement for Community Connectivity and Safety Project. This bridge will be submitted for the Bridge Project Capital Construction category. This bridge is also nearing 100 years in age, is load posted, geometrically deficient, and extremely important to the local community. There is a very significant bike ped presence in this area, and there is a discontinuity in the sidewalk system across the structure, as well as being just a critical connection overall for the community. I also mentioned yesterday that we do expect that this bridge would require funding for major repairs in the near future if we don't secure replacement funding. So it'll certainly be more economical to get ahead of the issue. The Bridge and Tunnel Enterprise State Funding Match request is $11.2 million for this project, which has a total estimated construction cost of $56 million. So with that, I'm happy to take any questions you may have, and I request you consider a motion to approve.
Thank you again. Any questions for Patrick on that third resolution? Okay, well, with that, I'd ask for a motion.
So moved.
Commissioner Marcano, second by Commissioner Jones. Okay, with no further ado, please, if all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Okay, that's it. Thank you. Thank you for the good presentation yesterday, too. All right, so that looks like it concludes our agenda for the day, unless Herman, anything else? Okay, well, thank you all. I really appreciate your comments and input. And I hope you have a great month, and we'll see you next month as we go on our field trip. I'm looking forward to it.